But generally, if someone is in wudu and touches the Qur'an, it is preferable, it is mustahab. It's not a fard. Those scholars differ. There's no verse in the Qur'an or hadith which says that wudu is compulsory for touching the Qur'an. Wudu is compulsory for offering salah.
These days, many people take Qur'an like a normal book. They put it on the floor. They take it and read it without wudu. They go on to say, oh, you can touch the Qur'an without wudu. Astaghfirullah. Let me explain this mas'ala. Wudu is wajib to touch the Qur'an. Upon this is the ijma' and consensus of all four Aimmas. Imam Abu Hanifa, Imam Malik, Imam Shafi'i, Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal. They all four Aimmas say you cannot touch the Qur'an without wudu. In fact, to the extent that Imam Malik and Imam Shafi'i rahmatullahi alayhima say that you can't turn the pages with a pencil or a pen or a piece of wood or another piece of cloth or anything. He said you can't even touch it with a pen to turn the page. Imam Abu Hanifa and Imam Ahmad rahmatullahi alayhima allow turning the pages with a pencil or a pen. Let's say you were reading the Qur'an and suddenly your wuzu broke and you wanted to complete the surah. So they say you take the pen out and with the pen you turn the paper. Then Imam Abu Hanifa and Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal rahmatullahi alayhima allow that, permit that. But Imam Malik and Imam Shafi say you can't even do that. You have to close the Qur'an, go perform wudu, come back and then complete your recital. So it shows how important it is to have wudu for touching the Qur'an. Some people say no, you don't need to have wudu for Qur'an. They ask for hadith. We say is hadith first or Qur'an first? Qur'an is first. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah Al-Waqi'ah, فَلَا أُقْسِمُ بِمَوَاقِعِ النُّجُومِ وَإِنَّهُ لَقَسَمٌ لَوْ تَعْلَمُونَ عَظِيمٌ إِنَّهُ لَقُرْآنٌ كَرِيمٌ فِي كِتَابٍ مَكْنُونٍ لَا يَمَسُّهُ إِلَّا الْمُطَهَّرُونَ. None should touch it except those who are pure, clean, pure. What is the meaning of that ayat? Let's ask the Sahaba ridwanullahi alayhim ajma'een. Sa'id ibn Mansur ibn Abi Shaybah in his Musannaf ibn al-Munzir Hakim narrate, and they said it's Sahih, from Abdur Rahman ibn Zayd. We were with Salman Farsi radiyallahu anhu. He went for istinja to relieve himself. When he came back, we asked him, if you performed wudu, and then we can sit down and ask you some things regarding the Qur'an. Salman Farsi radiyallahu anhu said, Saluni fa inni lastu amassuhu innama yamassuhu al-mutahharun thumma tala la yamassuhu illa al-mutahharun. Ask me any question you want, because I'm not going to touch the Qur'an. If you ask me, I will reply to you. Only wuzu is only needed when you want to touch the Qur'an, because Allah said in the Qur'an, La yamassuhu illa al-mutahharun. This is tafsir of Salman Farsi radiyallahu anhu, Sahabi radiyallahu anhu. And this tafsir is taken by all four Aimmas as well, that this ayat means you mustn't touch the Qur'an without wuzu. With regards to hadith, let me narrate from over here from Al-Fiqh al-Islami wa Adillatuhu. Dr. Wahaba al-Zuhaili says that if you have the minor impurity, then three things are not allowed. Performing salah and anything that is like salah. For example, sajda of tilawat, sajda of shukr, salatul janaza. Because Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said in the hadith, La yaqbalu Allahu salata ahadikum idha ahdatha hatta yatawadda. Number two, performing tawaf of Baytullah. Because hadith said, Al-tawafu bil-bayti salatun walakin Allah ahalla fiha al-mantiq faman nataqa fala yantiq illa bi khair. And number three, touching the mushaf, whether part of it or all of it. You can't touch the whole Qur'an or a page of the Qur'an without wuzu. Because ayat la yamassuhu illa al-mutahharun. Because the hadith la yamassu al-Qur'ana illa tahirun. La yamassu al-Qur'ana illa tahirun. This hadith is narrated by Imam Abu Dawud rahmatullahi alayhi, Imam Nasai rahmatullahi alayhi, from Amr ibn Hazm, by Daraqutni, Tabarani, Bayhaqi, from Abdullah ibn Umar, by Tabarani, from Uthman ibn Abil As, and Imam Malik narrated it in his Muwatta Mursalan from Amr ibn Hazm. All these four Sahabas narrate from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam that none should touch the Quran except with taharat, and without taharat you shouldn't do so. Imam Abdur Razzaq narrates in his Musannaf from Mu'ammar, from Abdullah ibn Abi Bakr, from Abu Bakr radiyallahu anhu, in the letter which Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam wrote to Amr ibn Hazm, La yamassul Qur'ana illa tahir. Abdur Razzaq narrates from Sufyan Thawri, from Jabir radiyallahu anhu, from Amir Sha'bi, from Ta'us ibn Kaysan, from Qasim ibn Muhammad ibn Abi Bakr as-Siddiq, أنهم كرهوا أن يمس المصحف وهو على غير وضوء. They dislike someone touching the mushaf without wudu. So all these Aimma say, and the Ahadith say, you shouldn't touch the Quran without wuzu. And also, number 3, the logical dalil is that ta'zeemul Quran, and respecting, revering, honoring the Quran is wajib. And it is not from the ta'zeem to touch it with the hand in which there is minor impurity. So if you have that impurity, get rid of that first, perform wudu, then touch the Quran. In fact, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam was once performing wudu, as is in the hadith of Tahawi. And one Sahabi passed by and said salam. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam did not reply until he finished his wudu, and then he paid attention to that Sahabi and then replied his salam, wa alaykumus salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. And he gave the reason for that. كَرِهْتُ أَنْ أَذْكُرَ اسْمَ اللَّهِ عَلَى غَيْرِ طَهَارَةٍ. I did not want to take the name of Allah without wuzu. So see how much adab and respect Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam has for the name of Allah, that he doesn't even take the name of Allah without wuzu. So how Quran is the word of Allah, how can you touch it without wuzu? No, touching the Quran without wuzu is not allowed. It's against the respect. So first you need to show respect to the Quran. Someone might ask, today we have various forms of the Quran on the iPad, on the iPod, on your phone, iPhone. So can you touch that without wuzu? The answer to that is yes. You can hold the phone in your hands, because the phone is like another kitab, another book, a book of hadith or book of fiqh, in which there are Qurani ayat and verses of the Quran. Because in your phone there are ahadith, there are other things as well, other materials as well. There's not just only Quran in there. So you can touch that phone. However, when you want to read the Quran, you go open it, but you can scroll through it with that special pen you get, or from the sides. Don't touch the letters of the Quran without wuzu. Try and be on wuzu, perform wuzu, and then read it. But if you are at your office during the month of Ramadan and you want to read the Quran on the computer, you don't have time to go and perform wuzu, then read it. Okay, no problem, it's allowed, it's not haram, but don't touch the letters of the Quran without wuzu.